guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is the show where I take your questions and answer them here on this show. I'm your host, Alex Hampton, and today we got a lot of cool things to talk about. It's episode 31. Hit that milestone of episode 30 a couple weeks ago, so I am so glad you guys keep coming in and sending in your questions and just talking with me and chatting with me, so I really do appreciate it. And if you want your question on this show, it's very simple. All you have to do is just send me an email at static145910@gmail.com. Or if you want to leave a comment under my Instagram, just follow me on Instagram at Mr. Alex Hampton. Or if you want to tweet me a question, you can tweet me at Mr. Alex Hampton on Twitter. Now, I got a lot of great questions over the weekend. San Diego Comic-Con happened, and most of these questions are going to be geared towards what happened this past weekend. So let's go ahead and jump into the first question of the day, which comes from a Evan Martin, and he writes, "Hey Alex, so San Diego Comic-Con was amazing this year. In your opinion, what was your takeaway this year at San Diego Comic-Con?" Well, thank you for your question, Evan. So, personally, I really enjoyed the Marvel presentation. Just to see their lineup of what they're doing in Phase 4 with Shang-Chi, with the Black Widow movie, and Taskmaster is confirmed to be the villain. That, I think, which is an actually amazing addition to that movie. But the biggest takeaway I've seen from this particular Comic-Con would have to be no other than the Blade movie. I'm not a huge fan of Blade. I'm not a huge fan. But I'm probably going to pronounce the actor's name wrong, so bear with me. I think his name's Marshall Ali, or Marshala Ali, is cast as Blade. You may remember him as Cottonmouth in Luke Cage, and also he's also done other great movies like Green Book, and also he was also in Moonlight. So he is actually an amazing actor, and he's also won Oscars. So he's in a pretty decent actor, and I think that this iteration of Blade under Marvel's hands is going to be amazing. He's an amazing actor. I love what he did with Cottonmouth. I love what he did in Green Book. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this was the biggest takeaway. I also, we're looking forward to Shang-Li, the Shang-Chi movie. I think that's going to be dope. I also am looking forward to the streaming services as well with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon is now Captain America, so I can't wait to see that. I'm actually looking forward to really seeing the Hawkeye series because that actually looks very promising. So I really want to watch that as well. WandaVision, I'm kind of iffy on, but everything else was kind of underwhelming. But the biggest takeaway I would have to say would be the Blade announcement, which was really dope. I can't wait to see his portrayal on that. And yeah, it's going to be amazing to see his portrayal. Thank you for your question, Evan. Let's go ahead and jump into the next question, which comes from a Mercedes Clark. And she writes, "Hey Alex, can you help me understand why everyone is hating on Beyonce's role in Lion King? I mean, why are people not watching this amazing movie because of one person?" Well, thank you for your question, Mercedes. So what Mercedes is referring to is that there's a lot of people online that I've seen on Facebook and seen on Twitter and especially Instagram, and I won't say who, there's certain people that I know personally who have a problem with Beyonce being in Lion King. And I find it very odd because Beyonce, I've seen the movie, and I'm sure this is not really a spoiler. I've seen the live action movie. I've seen the animated movie. She's not doing anything different from the animated movie. And what I mean by that is that her character that she plays isn't overshadowing the main characters of this movie. And truthfully, I think that this hate on Beyonce is stupid. It's unwarranted, and I just think that people I think there's a level of ignorance that people are just subscribing to because certain people are cast in roles, which I think is stupid. Don't get me wrong, Beyonce is a great singer. She's a great actor at times. You know, I loved her role in Dreamgirls, and I loved her roles in certain other movies she's done as well. But you know, I don't understand this level of hate. I seen the movie. Donald Glover is basically the standout in this movie, given the fact that he plays Simba. Also, James Earl Jones is a standout because he's playing Mufasa. Also, Scar, Chiwetel Ejiofor, he is a standout. The majority of this remake, live action remake, is the focus is on Simba, Scar, and Mufasa. You see more of them than you do see Nyla. Mind you, we don't even see Beyonce speak her role until like the second act of the film. So I don't, you know, so this whole notion that people are upset that Beyonce's in this movie is kind of ridiculous and it's stupid. I feel like people are just finding something to complain about. But yeah, I don't understand it, Mercedes. I think it's kind of dumb. You know, again, I think her portrayal of Nyla was amazing. She wasn't overshadowing anybody. She was definitely playing her part. And she definitely did a good job playing that character. So at the end of the day, I think anybody who's hating on Beyonce, again, people are entitled to their opinion, but I think the hate is very unwarranted. And I feel like it's very stupid. So thank you for your question. Let's go ahead and jump into the next question, which comes from a Dylan Wiggins. And he writes, "Hey Alex, at San Diego Comic-Con I noticed that there weren't any Avengers movies announced at Comic-Con. Can you at Comic-Con, do you think we will see Avengers in Phase 4? Well, thank you for your question, Dylan. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm actually not surprised that Avengers wasn't announced in Phase 4, and the reason why is because the way Endgame ended, we pretty much know who our core Avengers are. What we have an idea of what the Avengers are going to be, and at this point in the game, you have to understand that Marvel, in a sense, is rebuilding. And what I mean by that is that they're setting up Phase 4 to Phase 5 to Phase 6 for their big baddie. I look at Phase 4, mind you, most of Phase 4 was announced of all these different streaming services that we're getting on Disney Plus that are not streaming services, I'm sorry, streaming episodes of stuff, streaming TV shows that are going to be connected into the MCU. Most of that stuff is you know, trying to character build certain characters, and we will definitely see them in movies, but I don't know what the Avenger makeup is going to look like per se. But again, I'm not really surprised, only because the reason why I say that is because, like I said, there's, out of all of them, even with Spider-Man Far From Home, there hasn't been a big bag teased. And look at it, they're coming out the gate with a Black Widow movie that takes place after Civil War. We don't even know if Black Widow is even still alive. You know, so at the end of the day, we have to literally think about where this is going in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, are we going to keep our characters or what? Like, we don't know what the lineup's going to be just yet. So I'm willing to wait till Phase 5 or even Phase 6 to see the makeup of the Avengers. So thank you for your question. Let's go ahead and jump into the final question of the day, which comes from a Larry Cummings. And he writes, "Hey Alex, Avengers Endgame is now the highest grossing movie of all time. Do you think that this movie deserves to be at this spot in the movie in movie history?" Well, thank you for your question, Larry. So this past weekend, Avengers Endgame beat Avatar by, I believe, $10 million in the worldwide box office. It is now the highest grossing movie of all time. And I have two sides to this, and I'm going to try to keep this short because I know I can be very lengthy when it comes to these types of things. On one side, I'm very proud of this movie. I'm very proud because The movie was phenomenal. The things that they did was phenomenal. I think that it deserves to be there in this particular aspect because, you know, this was the culmination of 22 films. Like, yo, and we saw it come to an end in a certain way that it needed to. So it was well deserving. Granted, remember, when this movie came out the gate, it made over $350 million at a weekend domestic box office. And worldwide, it made $1.2 billion opening weekend. So we knew that this movie was going to shatter records. Now, I did say it deserves to be there because the movie, again, is a culmination of 22 films. Here's my other side on this. I think to a degree, and I know re-releases count, but I think to a degree, if this movie didn't re-release, it wouldn't be at this spot. And I actually made that same argument about Avatar. Avatar did its natural theatrical run, and then the studio re-released it back in theaters. That is why Avatar was so big as it is. And same thing with Avengers. It re-released and they teased extra footage that doesn't necessarily contribute to the overall story at all. So in a sense, if they didn't do their teasing of new footage of this movie, I don't really think it would have hit the numbers that it hit to beat Avatar. I still think it's deserving because it's a better movie than Avatar, but I don't think that it would have made it to where it was because of and I'm not going to call it false advertising, but the over advertising of this additional footage that didn't really bring or add anything to the story. So that is the reason why it hit the way it hit. Thank you for your question, Larry. And thank you guys for tuning in to episode 31 of Ask Alex. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that bell so you get all the notifications of when I'm releasing new content on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, please go ahead and check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Momentum Media. I have multiple tiers on there. By donating something to that page, it helps me make new content on this particular channel. So thank you so much for being a supporter on Patreon. And I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please comment and let me know what you think about my opinions on today's show. And as always, have a blessed day. Thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube page to get more exclusive content coming from my YouTube channel. And if you want to watch my previous videos, go ahead and click on this video up here or this video down here where you get to see more exclusive content coming from my channel. Thank you guys for watching this video and you guys have a blessed day.